right now. So I'm recording this meeting. Prosperity's sake. All right. So the reason why I was saying I want to keep this short to less than an hour because I know we're all busy and I don't want to lose your attention. Okay. But I feel like this webinar is very important at this point. I wanted to bring in two leaders that I look up to very, very much. Leslie Mays, excuse me, and Monami Allen. Both of them have successful businesses. Both are also trainers in LuLaRoe. And what I wanted to focus this meeting on today was on the magic and how to and the secrets of scoring the ever elusive pop-up. Because I know that we all, I'm hearing a lot that there's some frustration right now in the team when it comes to actually getting somebody to say, yes, I will book a pop-up with you. Okay, so how I'm going to do it is I'm going to introduce Monami first. I'm going to ask her to share her why. Then I'm going to introduce Leslie. I'm going to ask her to share her why. And then I'm going to ask them questions, interview style. Okay, and they're going to share their knowledge and their experience with you guys. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And Monami, could you please introduce yourself a little bit and tell us your why? And how
Hi, everybody. So, as Elle said, my name's Monami. I've been doing this almost 2 years. Leslie and I actually joined like probably within weeks of each other and met each other back at one of the first Seattle, I think it was the second ever Seattle training. My why it's all about my family and my kids. I have always worked for somebody else, 50, 60 hours a week. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids right now. I have an 18-year-old and I have a 2.5-year-old, and I'm the breadwinner. So I think my why was I wanted freedom. I got tired of working for someone else and someone else telling me when and what and never seeing my family. So after I had the baby, I found LuLaRoe through Ashley and was shopping all the time. And she was always putting that little bug in my ear. You should do the business. You should do the business. And I was like, no, I'm good. You know, I got my 50, 60 hours, my weekly paycheck, my benefits. I'm good. I don't want to do that. I go, but I'm happy to shop. And then just one day when I came home, my back was hurting. I think I had worked 60 hours that week. My mom was tired and I was tired. And I was like, why am I doing this for somebody who thinks I'm pretty much like disposable? So I took my tax return money and I made the leap. And I went to the training like within 3 days of actually calling LuLaRoe and placing that order. And I was really freaked out because my social network has always been the people at work. Like I had lots of friends, but I see people at work all the time. So that was a little scary. But I was just talking to Les the other day, and I think my why is a little bit deeper. I do feel comfortable wearing LuLaRoe where I didn't feel comfortable in my skin before. And I have a medical condition, and it's similar to multiple sclerosis, and it causes bodily weakness. So I kind of decided in the car that my deeper why is that I like proving to myself that I can be a regular person and that I can do what other people do and not live in fear every day that one day I won't be able to pick up my kid. I won't be able to pick up a rack or do a pop-up. And so I actually do enjoy, even though it's the hardest work in the world, lifting all those racks and unloading my van and my car because I can. And so that is my deeper why. And I almost had like an emotional moment in the car. And I wanted to tell Leslie that the other day and I didn't get a chance to, but I just want to be a normal person and I want to be able to support my kids and my family and just be considered everyday people, I guess. So that's my why. Sorry for the long drawn out why.
No, it's okay. Thank you so much for sharing that, Monami. I appreciate it. I'm so glad and so happy to know you. I met Monami earlier this year this year. And it was like this year? No, last year.
Yeah.
And it was like an instant connection. You know, we're like sisters and I really admire her. And you know, she works hard, guys, and she has the most amazing inventory. It's a lot of stuff. Anyway, so thank you for sharing that. So now I'm going to move on to Leslie. Same thing. Please share your why, how long you've been doing LuLaRoe.
Mommy, it made me cry. So I have been doing LuLaRoe just like Monami since like March, April of last year. And when I started, it was just to replace the $700 a month that I made nannying full time because the little girl that I nannied was starting kindergarten, and I didn't want to go back to work and put my little one in daycare. And as I realized that $700 in LuLaRoe is kind of, a joke, that's kind of a day, my why got bigger. I've been with my husband for, 16 years now. And I, quote unquote, married up. And his family always said that I married him for the money, that I married him for an easy ride, that I married him to ride his coattails. And my husband is very, very smart. He's very talented. We've been together since we were 16 and 19. He delivered pizza at Pizza Hut. I wasn't exactly marrying a millionaire, but he has always financially supported us. So last Christmas, when I was able to write a check for our entire Christmas, my why really evolved. And I just found out from our accountant about a month ago that in 2 years, I will be able to retire my husband. So that was a big in your face to my in-laws, and I'm just loving that why right now.
Oh, that's amazing. No, it's just, and guys, I'm saying, I met Leslie. I'm trying to remember when we met. I think you've been on my radar, but we had never actually talked until like the last meeting. But you've been somebody that, how you like kind of stalk people? Girls, this is somebody that I was like stalking, and there was just something really beautiful about her energy. And I just fell in love with Leslie. We have a lot of things in common. But so anyways, thank you for sharing your why with us. I just wanted the girls to kind of get to know you guys a little bit in that way and what drives you. So now that I have you on the phone, on the hook, Leslie, my first question is, I'm just going to jump right to it. How do I get somebody to say yes when I ask them for a pop-up, to book with me? What is your secret? And then I'll ask Mona Me. How do you do it? What do you say?
I don't ask. I tell them that they want to have a party. Here's all the amazing reasons that they want to have the party. And then I say, here's the 3 dates that I have coming up. Which one of those works for you?
Okay.
I don't ask. I am doing them a favor by doing a pop-up for them, not the other way around. So to me, it's easy peasy. It's not about, do you want to have a party? It's about, what kind of party do you want to have? Tell me about the kind of party you want to have, and let's figure out what day works for you.
Okay, awesome. How do you deal with a no or an excuse?
Well, it depends on the excuse, I guess. My house is too small. I'll bring less racks.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of friends. 2 people is a party. Okay. Whatever excuse there's another reason. If they say, I don't want to have a party, I say, well, great, let's do a personal styling consultation then. We'll do an hour just for you. And if a friend happens to show up and buy something, I'll give you a free pair of leggings just for having a friend show up.
Okay, you said something that caught my attention. 2 people is a party. So there's no right or wrong number. You would take all your stuff and load up all your racks and take them to somebody's house to have a party.
Yep. If they said it's only me and I'm inviting my best friend, then I would ask their sizes, and then I would just bring the stuff in their sizes, and we call it a personal styling consultation. They get 1 hour. But even if they have 2 RSVPs on their pop-up, unless I'm driving 3 hours, I'll drive an hour and I will haul all of my stuff for 2 RSVPs, because one person who's never seen LuLaRoe or never had an in-person consultant, that can change your business.
True, exactly. And I have the perfect example of that. That one person is actually in this webinar right now. Her name is Lisa. Lisa is in this webinar, and she was a one person that was supposed to be a personal styling session. And Lisa's probably smiling or laughing right now because she is in this team or in the queue. And this was in the spring. And through Lisa, I met Jennifer, who is now 3 away from trainer. And I met Nikki, and I met Larissa, and now Lisa is in our team. So it wasn't one person that ended up being kind of like oh, you might as well, you know, she's like, I have one friend. I'm like, oh, you might as well just have a couple others. And, you know, we'll make it a thing and then you get some free stuff. And then that created like this, actually Lisa, you know, really was like this, the start of my team, believe it or not. And I didn't even know her. She didn't know really very much about LuLaRoe, but that's besides. So yes, one person, you guys, is worth the effort, at least to me and to Leslie. Mon ami, you're on deck. How do you get them to say yes?
Again, it's like you don't ask. You don't ask. I think you have to kind of read people. So it kind of depends where you're at, where you're attempting to connect with that person and where you're attempting to actually ask them for a party. If you're at a party and they're checking out, it's like, oh my gosh, I love that Sarah. I love that Amelia. Wouldn't you like to get that for free? Mm-hmm. You should, or girlfriend, you buying a whole bunch. You buying up the place. I saw you trying on all that stuff. Saw you put it back, or I saw you say you're thinking about it. Why don't you just book a party and get it for free? I have this and this date available. And I always have my calendar right in front of me. It goes with me in the car wherever I go. If the planner is too big, get a size one from the dollar store, but always, you know, not asking, but reading them. You know, are they buying a lot? Are they talking to their friend about the things that they wish that they had? Did we have a good time at the pop-up? Let's do this again, guys. You know what? Let's get a friend rotation going on. All 5 of us or all 3 of us had fun. Why don't you do one this month, you do one next month, and you do one the following month, and we get to see each other every month. Mm-hmm. And then all the friends are like, yeah, this was fun. Girl, get the wine, get the beer, get the snacks, whatever you want to do. You know, bring the music or not, but let's do this again. And you kind of have to think outside the box. You know, you can't stand at your checkout holding your phone or sit at your computer and, you know, say, does somebody want to book a party? You have to connect with people. And again, it's not asking, it's like reading people and then just offering another good experience again.
I love that. And I'm going to ask you, how do you deal with the big fat no or the excuses, you know, that we all hear over and over again?
It depends. What is the no at? What is the no for? Because again, I didn't ask you to have a party. You may have said it could have been no, not at this time. Okay, those 2 dates don't work for you. Let me see what I can move around for you. It could be no, my house isn't big enough. I just did a pop-up yesterday outside in the girls' driveway. Part because I didn't want to wheel it in her house, and part because it was a nice day and I wanted some sunshine. And I can't tell you how many people did stop from the street, but it's like, what is the no pertaining to? Because there's always going to be 5 things that you can do aside from to turn that no into a yes. You can come host it at my house. You can host it at your grandma's, you know, offer the options. You know, what's holding you back from getting free stuff?
Excellent. And that's so true. Okay, now that you're on deck, Mon ami, I'll ask you the next question. How important is, and I know we have some QBs here and they may not be super familiar with this phrase that I'm going to say, but we're going to get you there. How important is the 72-hour game plan?
The 72-hour game plan is like, it's beyond important because it gets you out of your own way. It seems hokey and it seems like, oh God, that's the thing that's on the card that they send in the box, or that's what, you know, Kenny's always getting us to try to do, or, you know, every time we have an Inspired tour, it's something that we have to do. But how often do you sit down and book 5 or 10 parties in 10 minutes?
Okay. And,
you know,
how often do you utilize the 72-hour game plan?
You know what? I don't use it as often as I should. And I think everybody could do it more often, if not all the time. But when you're getting down to the nub and you got nothing, it's like, it kind of jogs your memory. It's not necessarily like going to the dentist and you hate it. It's kind of like, I don't make it into something that you have to do, make it into something that you want to do. Like, I know there's other people out there that want to have parties that I missed. I know there's hostesses that I've had in the past year and a half that I haven't reconnected with. Why not? You know, let's go see your friends again. You know what I mean? So don't think of it as work. Just think of it as making those connections, or just rekindling those friendships that you did make that you kind of put on the back burner. You know, we always get so busy moving forward. We forget about those connections we made in the past. That is, if you're not building off of those connections already.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Thank you for that. What about you, my dear Leslie? How important is the 72-hour game plan and how often do you utilize it?
I actually track my month. So if I'm not booked out every opening for the next 30 days, it's that day in the office is 72-hour game plan. And so that's the same thing that I do with my downline during our weekly check-in is I ask them, are you booked for the next 30 days? If not, okay, then my challenge to you is this week you sit down for 1 hour and you do the 72-hour game plan. And then I ask them the same question the next week. Are you booked out for the next 30 days? Okay. You should always be booked out for the next 30 days.
And real quick, like the kindergarten version, for those of us that are here that do not know or understand what the 72-hour game plan is, can you please tell us what that means?
That means that you don't just think of your 3 best friends and your favorite cousin to ask a pop-up for. That is, you think about, you know, who do I see when I drop my daughter off at school? Who do I know from my old work? And you sit down and you write all those obscure names that you didn't think of until you wrote it down. So you think of the little categories and then you try to come up with 10 names in each category. And then you go through all 50 of those people and you call or message every single one of them and ask. And again, I don't say, do you want to have a party? I say, girl, I'm giving away free clothes. Who wants free clothes? You want free clothes? Because that's what we're doing. Here's the 3 spots that I have. My last hostess got $300 worth of free clothes. Do you want that? Yeah, I do.
Okay, so you said come up with a list of 50 names. Typically, that's about. Do you call all those 50 at one time, or do you break them down into little chunks? I mean, like, what do you do?
Oh, me? Oh, yeah, I call them all in a row. I do not get out of my chair until I have reached all 50 people. That is, I shut the door, I lock it, I say, don't knock unless you're bleeding, and I do not move out of my chair until I do all 50. Because me personally, I've got a little ADD. If I do 5 at a time or I do 10 at a time, I'm not coming back. I sit down and I do it until those 30 days are booked.
Okay, I saw Monami shaking her head. Monami, what do you do? How do you approach
that? You see who I have next to me. So I have a toddler.
Hi, Bubby. Hi, Bubby.
Say hi to El Bubba. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. So yes, this one is attached to me 24/7. So I have to do mine in chunks. But again, I always keep my calendar there. And, you know, you go down the list and mine does actually, it does fill up. You know, you have to kind of like, okay, the baby's taking a nap. Let me go back to that. Let me get my calendar filled. Because it literally does bother me if I don't have 2 to 3 parties going on a week. And when I was cruise qualifying, it was, you know, 4 and up. And you kind of have to, chunk your calendar out as to, okay, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I do online. Friday, Saturday, Sunday are in person. If anybody, you know, kind of has an issue and needs a different date for an in-person, then I flex my parties around that.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to go over that real briefly since we were talking about it. All right, so talking about approaching people, talking to people, asking. Tell me, since you're on deck now, Monami, how do you approach somebody brand new to create a contact or a connection, somebody you haven't talked to yet? How do you approach that person? What do you do? What do you say?
So sometimes I have the leggings with me that I have pre-wrapped, and I'll notice, like, there was a lady who I noticed who had some LuLaRoe leggings on. I handed her the leggings and I said, you know what? I just wanted to make your day. Here you go. Have these, you know, these are for you. And she was like, oh my God, I want to pay you for these. And I was like, no, you don't have to pay me for those. And, you know, instantly, you know, she got onto my page like within the hour. We chatted, you know, she and her daughter are booking a party just from connection. So again, you have to not, it's like if you're going out and you're trying to meet people and the first thing you want to do is, hi, I do LuLaRoe. Did you want to have a party? Or your outfit's really cute. If it feels forced, it's going to be forced and it's going to appear forced, and a customer or a future customer or a future friend or person is going to throw up a barrier and they're going to be like, no, get away from me. Right. You know, if you're standing next to somebody in the post office and you're chatting with people and you got all the packages and someone's looking over at your packages, you know, make small talk, make conversation. You know, sometimes you can plant the seed and leave it and then come back to it. You know, get their information. Hey girl, I'll look you up, and then come back and then, get them going and book a party. Sometimes it's not something that's going to happen like right now. But Bubby, yes, I'm talking. But sometimes again, do you carry leggings in your car, not just to give away, but do you have a small little stash with you to sell? If someone says your leggings are so cute or your top is so cute, hey, honey, I got like 15 of them bad boys in the back of my truck, When you come put your groceries down, why don't you come over to my car and come see what I have? I sell LuLaRoe. The people with the I've caught you rowing cards, they hand those out, and you're giving somebody, the toes in my face, isn't that nice? They're giving somebody $5 off because you caught them rowing. All consultants have different things. So I think it's not going out going, I'm going to go and get me 5 parties, but I'm going to go and either make somebody's day or make a new friend and then go from there. Then it's not so forced, and then it doesn't feel so like so much pressure. Does that make sense?
Excellent. Yeah, that's an excellent point. What about you, Leslie? How do you you don't know this person, but you want to make a connection. How do you go about it?
So this was really, really hard for me in the beginning. I have really, really bad social anxiety disorder, to the point that I used to throw up every time I would have to talk to someone. I used to keep the throw up bags in my car.
Wow.
I gave somebody a free pair of leggings at a Red Box and then ran to my car and threw up. That's how bad I am. So I have had to force myself from the very beginning, when I would just kind of throw it at them and run. And I just had to force myself to keep doing it until I got used to it. I keep those business cards. That's what the Carly pockets are. That's for 10
Right.
I live in a really small area. I live on an 8-mile long peninsula. There's not a lot of people out here, and there's 7 consultants on this peninsula now. So I take my business cards, and it doesn't matter if I have to go stand at Redbox and wait for women to come out. I will pass out those 10 business cards before I go home. And it is, the lady wearing the maxi skirt, the lady who's dressed up cute for church, the lady who's got her leggings on, the mom who's towing 4 kids. And I'll say, don't you hate trying to drag them in to go shopping? Wouldn't you love it if someone would just come let you do your shopping at your house so you didn't have to drag them through the store?
Well, that's genius.
That's what attracted me to the business. I've got a toddler who's always looking under the changing room doors at other people and just making me crazy when I'm trying to shop. And so I try to look at it from my perspective. Or when I couldn't book parties last year around the holidays, I did a charity thing. I said, I'm going to donate 10% of my profits all December to beanelf.org that brings Christmas presents to underprivileged children. And as soon as you tell those hostesses, no, this is not about you right now. This is not about you getting free clothes. This is about the kids.
Good, how are you?
Oh, all of a sudden now they want to do it. Now they want to book a party because it's not about them anymore. So it's just about being creative and figuring out what they want. The personality colors, figuring those out for your hostesses and for your customers is just as important as figuring them out for your team. Knowing what motivates your customers to book a party, because not everyone cares about free clothes. If they've got themselves a shiny little card, they don't care about free clothes, but they might care about doing something else. Sometimes I'll double hostess rewards if they'll donate it to a charity instead of keeping it for themselves.
That's a great idea. So you actually brought up something that caught my attention, which is you live in Gig Harbor, which is it's small. One of me lives in Tacoma, so it's bigger. You live in Gig Harbor, it's small. One of the challenges, because it is a challenge for my team, and I hear them, right? I have ladies my team is mostly military spouses, and the core of the team is here at Joint Biz Lewis McCordis in Fort Lewis. And I hear it's growing. LuLaRoe is growing inside the base. And I hear a lot of my team members say things like, it's hard because I approach people and they say that they're already talking to another consultant, or I ask them, but they say no because they're buying from someone. Like, how can someone break through that barrier that it seems like everybody is doing LuLaRoe? in their little space? Like, how does somebody overcome that barrier or mental block even? How can they get past that, in your opinion, Leslie?
Well, for me, being the first one out on the peninsula, I try to be very careful because I don't want to step on any new girls' toes. I don't want to disrespect anyone or make them feel like I'm stomping on their customer. So I think for me, the nicest, most respectful thing that I can do is go, okay, great. Well, here's my card. Hold on to it. If you're ever looking for something in particular and your consultant doesn't have it, feel free to reach out to me. And a lot of times, once they kind of understand how many items that we all have that their one consultant doesn't get, a lot of times they will start to branch out to other consultants. And you just want to be that nice person who wasn't insulting their consultant. You don't know how involved they are with that person. But just to say, if you're ever looking for just a black maxi for something particular and she doesn't have it, feel free to call me and I'll help you find it. And then back off. And usually I'll say, just let me find you on Facebook. So if you ever need anything, you'll have an easy way to get a hold of me. And that kind of connection, that's just one little seed. And you plant that seed, and it's better than just walking away and saying, oh, darn it. Just giving them that backup option and reminding them that, we all have different stuff. It's like going to Lowe's and Walmart. They're going to have different stuff. So reminding them that it's not a catalog order. They can't get you the same stuff I can get you, and vice versa. So it's great to have a couple consultants that you trust.
Excellent. What about me? Is LuLaRoe oversaturated?
I don't think so. Honestly, I think the people who get it understand that, the more that LuLaRoe grows, the more couture our clothing becomes. Because the more consultants there are, the more people that sell it, the more rare and the less amount of patterns there are to go around. I have never touched French fry leggings. I have never had popcorn. I've never had dragons, the unicorns with the sunglasses. I can probably tell you a million prints I have never physically received in a shipment. And I can honestly tell you, well, no, I'm not going to. A lady never discusses how many Carlys she's paid full price for in the past couple of weeks as a consultant. So I know for a fact, as a consultant and as a customer, that it's not saturated because there's so much good I haven't even got to. So imagine a customer, you know what I mean? I remember back in the day when we would go and hit the I-5 corridor and hit all the different Nordstroms or all the different racks to see what else we could find and score at Nordstrom Rack. Like, there were customers who would literally drive from store to store to store to get things. And once a LuLaRoe customer gets that, they'll go to multiple people's house. That's a good jump off. That's a good way to get some sales. They'll host a party with you because, again, you have different stuff than the girl who they did a party with last week, maybe even yesterday. You know what I mean? And the fact that if you're ordering, that's another thing. If you're continuously ordering weekly, you're always getting fresh new goods. So they have a reason to come to you. Even if they went to their person, you got a whole box of new stuff coming. That's probably not even stuff that the other person got. I was at Ashley's house with no bra, fresh off the sheet, dropped my kid off at high school, and banging on her door before she even opened the box herself to see if she got any solid Irmas. What leggings did you get in? I need a fix. I need my Cassie skirts. Like, literally woke the girl up out the bed to buy my stuff. And I mean, people are serious about their LuLaRoes. So, I mean, really $5,000 per print and there's 35,000 of us. That's like nuts. I can't even go into it. Like, I need more LuLaRoe friends so I can find some of these prints and patterns. So yeah, there's no such thing as saturation. I mean, even if your neighbor sold LuLaRoe, again, the chances are Vegas numbers, Vegas odds that she's going to get the same stuff as you and continuously have them in all the same sizes. There's just no way. So I think you guys just, we have to get out of our own way in order to, say a phrase that we've been hearing lately, but it is the truth. We put up these blocks and these barriers, and we need to push those out of the way and look outside the box and, test the barrier. If you think that, it's saturated, okay, prove it. do a hypothesis, do a little experiment and see if it is. And if you can honestly say that it is, then, you know, you've proven yourself wrong. But I think that 99% of the time, you're going to find that, no, it's not saturated. No, the lady down the street didn't know what LuLaRoe was. No, the lady at the grocery store didn't have any idea what leggings were. The lady that just bent over and you saw her thong through the back of her lovely leggings that she's wearing that are non-LuLaRoe. You know, hey girl, you love leggings. I got some for you. And these ones are nice and thick. And you don't have to tell her you saw her thong, but you pass her them free leggings. And I'm telling you, when she goes home and puts them on, she's going to be calling you and be like, I need 5 more of them bad boys, even if they're all black.
Okay.
Do events, you know. You guys, I think with military, it's almost like you feel like you're on an island, just like Leslie is, and you guys are all bumping elbows and you're all in a tight space. Well, are you trapped on the island? Is that the only place that you can be? Can you get off the island? Are there ways to get off and to get out and to go elsewhere where other people aren't? You know, the base is your home base, but it's not where you have to reside. Look on meetup.com. There's so many different social media areas and things that we haven't even dipped into. And I think everybody sits on Facebook and joins all the vendor groups there. And it's like, it's not about that, because everybody else is trying to do the quick thing too. It's about networking and meeting new people. I've even partnered up with other consultants, just one, not doing multi-consultant things, like that's only team-based, but like I've partnered up with somebody else who has small inventory, and we do here and there parties together. And so I'm sharing my customer base, she's sharing hers, you know, and then when we book parties from our party, we always book those parties together. So we're never cutting into each other's business. We're never, you know, trading business. We're both, when people meet us, they expect our total inventory together. And it's a good way to get out and meet different people, to have an ongoing party base going where you're not by yourself. You can book that with somebody who's new on your team. You can book that with somebody else who has just started. So then you combine your inventory together so you have a larger inventory, because the more you have, honestly, the crazier people become. My hostess on Saturday actually went live and showed everybody all my inventory, and I booked 2 parties just off of her doing that.
That's amazing.
A girl messaged me and said, oh my God, you have so much inventory. I want to party with you. How, you know, I didn't even have to do any work. That's just networking and, you know, juicing up the hostess, you know. So sometimes you have to help the hostess get out of her own way. You know, she's just was very rambunctious kind of a person, and that was just her thing. But it's like, I think we just have to kind of, you know, look outside the box. It's not going to be easy. I can tell you that much. You know, sometimes it will come easy, but sometimes you have to put in the work. But, you know, figure out what it is that's holding you back and get over it.
That's true. So I'm going to change. So far the webinar, we got about maybe 20 more minutes before I wrap it up. But so far the webinar has focused on, you know, pop-ups, how to kind of think of different ways to talk to new people. What do you say? How do you go about scoring that ever elusive pop-up, or just growing your network to make it easier for you to talk to people? And so that's one big part of our business. The other part is, I know that we all do it. There is an online portion, right, of how we grow our businesses. And we are going to bring it back to that. I have some questions for you, Mon Ami, about like online pop-ups. But right now, I want to kind of shift it a teeny tiny bit. And I want to ask Leslie, because she recently decided to do things a little bit differently. And Leslie decided to stop selling online, right? And I'm not telling you, my ladies, that that's what you have to do. I just want you to get a different perspective, right? So don't worry. We're going to bring it back around to, you know, give you a few tips on that. But I would like to know from Leslie why you stopped selling online. Please.
I hate online. It really, I want LuLaRoe to be something that I love. I don't love online. I don't love the impersonal thing. I don't love being yelled at by someone I've never met because they're braver behind a screen. I don't love sitting in my office at 11 o'clock at night, printing out labels. And it was a lot of what was eating up my time. So as my business grew and I had more pop-ups and I had more team that I needed to take care of, it was like, okay, well, I need to cut back somewhere. Where am I going to cut back? Well, obviously I'm going to cut back on the part that I hate the most. And I've been in LuLaRoe before Facebook parties were a thing. Like there was no Facebook parties. There were no online parties. It wasn't like an online party was like, here, let me text you a picture of what I got. That's as close as it came. So for me, it was really kind of going back to the roots of where I built my business. And that is, come here and put these leggings on your butt. Because once you do, you're done, you know. I'm not an online shopper. I know what size I wear in every single style. I still don't like to shop online. I will for a Carly, but that's it.
Right.
I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. Honestly, I didn't like what it did to my in-person hostesses. I think that my in-person hostesses should be my VIP. Those should be my priority. And if you have a Saturday pop-up, tell me as a customer how you would feel if you had a party booked for on Saturday and you'd been hyping all your friends up and you've been so excited, and then you saw your consultant get a box on Wednesday, post it in a live sale on Thursday, and sell half of it. So since I stopped selling online, I have booked 3 times as many parties as my normal average because all my hostesses came out of the woodwork and said, you mean you'll actually have French fry leggings? Because they realize that now everything I get is for those VIP in-person hostesses, those VIP in-person customers, because what they see, your in-person customers, what they see when you sell online is you selling the stuff that should have been for them and their friends who are coming to your pop-up on Saturday. So for me, it was just the natural pullback to give my time and my attention and my best me and my best product to the people that I wanted to value the most, and that's the people who live down the street.
Okay, so you would say then that, so this was about 6 weeks ago, right, that you made that decision, that your business has doubled.
Yes.
In 6 weeks since you, why do you think that is? Like seriously, like that people are driven that much by the in-person that as soon as you stop selling online, that your business doubled. And this is keeping in mind that you had clientele outside the state and it still doubled. That's
yes. I actually completely changed my group. I had an almost 2,000 person group. And I gave it to my team and I said, turn it into a multi-consultant sale. I don't care what you do with it as long as it stays our team and you don't disappoint me. And I signed off. I'm not even an admin in there anymore. I told all my local customers, if you are in Washington, Northern Oregon, or Idaho, you can follow me to my local group. That's where I'll book parties. It's where I'll share what's going on with LuLaRoe, the newest stuff that's coming out. But I won't sell there. And as soon as they realize that the upside of that is that I get to give all of my time and my attention and my boxes to them, they realize that they were the most important to me. And they all started booking parties. I mean, my husband's cousin hasn't even bought a stitch of clothing from me in 18 months. As soon as I stopped selling online, she was like, oh, so let's talk about doing a pop-up. It started coming out of the woodwork. My in-person attendance has doubled, and my in-person sales average per party has doubled, because the first question you'll almost always see on an event invitation is, will she be posting online afterwards? Now the answer is, no, she won't. Oh, okay, then I'll be there.
Okay, awesome. I love that. I love, and it's a little scary though, right? Was it scary?
It was scary. But I just knew that it was what was right for me. And I like to, with 40,000 we're over 40,000 consultants now. I feel like in order to make yourself stand out, you got to be doing what other people aren't doing. And I was not doing online sales before, and I did fine. I started them because it was the thing to do, and all my downline were asking me questions on how to do it. So I went to go do it because that's what everybody was doing. And then I realized I just conformed. I just started doing what everyone else is doing. I'm not me anymore. So by doing what everyone else isn't doing, all of a sudden I've made myself stand out again. So it was scary, but it was worth it.
Yeah, I love that. I'm actually at the cusp of doing the same thing. My shopping group is about 1,200 that I've grown organically, but I'm kind of like with you, like the same, like I don't, and my team knows it. Online brings me no joy. Even though I love connecting with my shoppers, like the biggest, like the scary part for me is not scary, because I do more in person than online anyway, but it's like, how do I maintain like it, and those people that love me that don't live here, but that's another discussion for another time. So it's like, how do I let them go, without, so it's hard, but yeah, so I'm getting ready to actually close my shopping group, and make something, do like maybe like a style tips or something like that, but no selling, for the same reason as you. And I'm finding that just like my in-person is just getting more and more. I really feel like the more we grow, the more that LuLaRoe becomes available, it seems like the more people want to come to shop in person. I really have noticed that shift. They tell me all the time, like, it's just because Patrick is blowing it all out of the park and all the different fabrics and the prints and stuff. People want to come play with the clothes, and I am seeing more of a demand for my time in person than online, right? So, but, and that's awesome, and we're doing that. But Mon Ami, bringing it back to you, not everyone can do that or wants to do that, nor should they be forced to do that, right? Because the beauty of having your own LuLaRoe business is that you can do it however you want to do. And frankly, there are individuals out there that, due to whatever personal reason, or they're sick, or they just have certain situations, they cannot get out there as much. So they do depend on selling online, right? Mon Ami, how do you, wait, where's my question for you? Do you do online pop-ups? Not shopping group, but online pop-ups. Do you book online pop-ups, Mon Ami?
I book online pop-ups, and I book the online pop-ups in my group. So I've been in retail for 20 years, and I know that customers need to have a sense of urgency. So for example, if you've ever been to a Nordstrom's half yearly sale, back in the day, it was tooth and nail, fight to the finish. They open at 7. I'm going to be there at 6:30 so I can be at the front door. So when they open the door, I can run in. I can be the first girl to get to the shoe rack to get those Uggs that are on sale, because they only have so many, or there maybe is only one pair. So you kind of have to have that sense of urgency. So I don't like doing or online pop-ups or parties in somebody else's group. I don't like doing it in an outside group. If I did it in an event or group created just for the party, if that makes sense, not these professional hostess groups, but like a brand new event is created, the party with the attendees are in this group. It's hard to pretty much, in essence, recreate a whole page, a whole shopping group, essentially, for somebody's one party. It's too much work for me as a single mom. There's just no way. So I like to host the parties within my group, because if the hostess bombs out and she's not doing her part and doesn't invite everybody, my shoppers are going to be like, it's Tuesday, it's 3 p.m. Whether there's a party or not, I know there's new stuff is going to be there, and I want to get there and I want to be there. So it does create a sense of urgency, and it's kind of a little tooth and nail. So it's like, no, I'm not. I've saved it all before for hostesses, and I put it all in one group for them, and I put all that work in there and put all the new inventory in there, and nobody was really buying like they should. But as soon as I plopped those same pictures in my shopping group and introduced other customers that they had to fight for with those items, people were shopping and they were serious about it. And the fun thing of it is that people become friends in my shopping group that didn't know each other. Mm-hmm. And then other VIP people who shop in there normally will support a hostess that they don't know, because that's a girlfriend. She's a Lula sister. I'm going to support and give her my, points toward what I purchased toward her hostess rewards. So I just have a lot of people who are like executives, people who like to Amazon Prime shop, who don't have patience for live sales. A lot of my directs are not local. They were customers on my shopping group and decided we connected via computer to do LuLaRoe. So we have that relationship. I have VIP customers who found me for whatever reason, asked me about LuLaRoe. You know, I helped them shop. They went and found somebody local, and then lo and behold, they came back to me. And I have a lady who shops with me every week, and she has local consultants she could go see, but she likes me. She likes to support me because she knows my why is I'm a single mom, and she wants to support my business and support my why, and we have a connection. So it's a toss-up for me because, like, when I put it out there and I want to book parties, I get a 50-50 split, or sometimes I'll book more online as versus in person, or, you know, vice versa. But I have it checked off in my calendar. I'm blocking it all in, but like I'm already booked online through October, and I have a few more open spots for in person. But it's a catch-22 for me. So I wish I could be the Leslie, because when I have a good online, my kitchen is filled with bins, and it's days of me and Madimo hanging out and, you know, bagging things up and shipping it off. And it's a pain, but, you know, sometimes I like it. It is rewarding, and it would be nice, because I'm a social person, to be out and touching and feeling and being with actual people is what everybody craves and what everybody likes. But again, like you said, Elle, sometimes people don't have that. They're not afforded that ability. So however you can create that connection, if it's via computer screen or in person, there has to be a connection.
Right. So you think, well, you're kind of growing your shopping group at the same time as you're selling. So you just think it's more productive, more cost effective. It saves your sanity to just go ahead and host a pop-up in your shopping group. Don't worry about a separate anything.
I don't feel comfortable. I've done two. I've done two parties that have been in like a professional hostess group. I have never participated in a multi-consultant sale. I won't. I just don't have time for that. It's too much work. It's I think if it's in my group, it's something that is under my control. When you're in a multi-consultant, I think you're just throwing all your inventory out there and letting it sit. You're not creating any connections, which is what my basis is a connection. And it's like maybe somebody will buy it, maybe somebody won't, or maybe I'll get 5 pieces at most. I don't have time to do that. I want the connection. So.
Okay. And I know that's a really good point, you know, and it's all about the connection. And I have another question for you. I have 2 more questions left for you guys, and then we're going to have a little bit of Q&A for the ladies. My last question for you, Mon Ami, is I have ladies that I see like in our group chat, and they'll say like, oh my gosh, you know, and my girls have good, I won't curse, they have good stuff. Okay, my girls have good stuff. I want to buy from all of them all the time. They're breaking my wallet. But I see in the chatter, one of the biggest things is when they have like a shopping group, not necessarily a pop-up, but just in their weekly shopping group posting, they'll say, man, I did all this work and I posted all this stuff, and it's crickets. It's nothing. No one's biting. No one's buying. What's your advice for these girls? How do you create a buzz? How do you get that shopping group? You know they're in there, right? How do you get that shopping group? And I'll get your input too, Leslie, on this. How do you get life in that shopping group so that these ladies can move their inventory? What's your advice for them?
I'm not consistent. So because I'm not consistent, people have to stay on their toes. I think you have to change it up sometimes. You know, I don't know. I think, I guess my own opinion is what I've been seeing lately is, you know, everybody's doing their own thing, kind of. So what's your shtick? I've watched people with costumes on doing live sales. You know, it's crazy. It's entertaining. My customers don't want that. They don't have time. I personally don't have patience for that. You know, so what is it that you're doing? Are you doing the same thing every week, all the time? You know, some of my customers are like, oh, Mon Ami, I'm in so many groups, you know, I don't even get notifications anymore, or something. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't go hunt them out, but they're like, you know what, I think I'm just going to come back to you. I'm going to delete the others and come back to you. So again, it's the connections. You know, do you have a personal connection with the people who are shopping in your group? Do they know that you're posting on Tuesday at 3? You know, if you're always posting at Tuesday on 3, do you change it up? You know, are you ordering weekly so that you have something new? You know, I have tons of stuff to stay up in albums because my people like to shop like Amazon Prime, but I'm getting new boxes every week and people want to see what's in those boxes. Do you do fun raffles or games? I know it sounds hokey, but you know, I'll just put it out there and then I'll leave it for an hour and I'll say at 7 p.m., oh, holy Jesus, where's my box? We're all going to Elle's house. That's all you have to do. Get the box, put it up.
Sorry about that.
I mean, I can't even tell you guys, like, what did I do? I was just posting my stuff and all of a sudden I'm like adding people constantly, you know, and it's like, I'll have a hostess or I'll have somebody on there who likes to go and, hey, you guys, you need to come over to Mona Me's group. She's got all these unicorns, or she's got leggings for days, or she's got some old stuff that you haven't seen before, you know. You know, how are you refreshing your inventory? How are you making it look new? But for whatever reason, people are networking and they're sending people to me. Okay. And it's so funny. Like some of the old junky crap that I can't even stand, like the grandma crocheted Lucy's, people were fighting over. I'm like, really? That mess? But, you know, I don't know. I think you have to network. You have to make connections. You maybe have to change it up sometimes. You really have to do those in person because you got to throw a new fish into the pond every once in a while, or else it's just going to be the same swimmers.
What about you, Leslie? I know you're no longer, but when you used to, like, how did you keep things alive? How did you keep it fresh? How did you keep them buying? I guess.
For me, I did things like, well, now my mom does it. You guys, my mom just signed up. How cool is that? My mom does it now. She plans her outfit the night before, her outfit for work. And she always takes a picture of the outfit on the mannequin, you know, with all of her stuff. And she's like, this is what I'm wearing tomorrow. And, you know, she'll have people, they'll comment and she'll pick a winner or whatever. I like to do really personal stuff. I am that personal, emotional, the one-on-one. So I like to ask my customers questions and get to know them. Today, I posted just on my group to keep activity, even in my group that I don't sell in, I posted the thing that said, if you could rid the world of one thing, what would it be? I've got activity from all over the place, but it's not just having that activity, and it's not to give away leggings. It was just a question. I will go and I will reply to every single comment. Some of them are closer to my heart. Some of them will get a bigger reply, but you never, anytime a customer comments, you always reply. And you try to get to know them on a personal level and let them get to know you on a personal level. My big why is really, really, really emotional for me and really hard to put out there. And so I put it out there very, very slowly, piece by piece in my group. And the more I shared, the more I found those kindred spirits that related to me. And those are now my loyal girls because they found something that they saw, whether it's a single mom, whether it's someone who's dealt with depression, whether it's someone who has body issues and that's why they love LuLaRoe. Find out why they love LuLaRoe. Find out why they're on there. Mm-hmm. Because shopping is usually for women some sort of retail therapy for something. And if you know what it is, then you have the key to keeping your customers happy.
Right. And I would agree. I mean, it's just at the end of the day, I think like we all kind of saying the same things. There's so many different ways that you can go about growing your business and engaging the people in your group. But I've always said it just boils down to like that personal thing. And it's so easy to get kind of caught up in a rut, you know, but I always tell people, like, think of your shopping group. If you have a shopping group, it's a little community. It's actual people in there, and you have to do different things to maintain that connection, or that like make yourself human almost. And it's so much more than like, hey, here's the clothes for the week, so it just, and sometimes it's like you said, not about the giving away things, even though I love to give away stuff. I do it all the time. But sometimes it's just talking to people or like engaging people. And sometimes I'll even like private message people because something that they said caught my attention, and or I felt like they need to talk, right? And so that is what, when they say like give excellent customer service, sometimes that is excellent customer service. And then you make a friend, I mean, like what's there's nothing to lose really in that. And then that is what creates buzz, and that, like constantly people, then they'll just start adding people, and it just grows from that. So it's true, and that takes time. But I just really want the girls to hear perspective from other ladies, and I just let them know that there is hope, and there are different things that they can do, and that it will grow, even when it doesn't seem like it is, but it will. I have one last question, because it's been an hour exactly. Woohoo! Keep it on schedule, and then we're gonna allow for a bit of Q&A. I would like to close this portion off with like a challenge. I have you on, like, mon ami. This is my last question. If you could give the ladies one challenge that would push them a bit outside their comfort zone, but will have tremendous results for their business, what would that be? If you could give the girls a challenge, something to do that might be scary or might push them a little bit, maybe something like, think of maybe a challenge for you, your own personal challenge. Maybe like, what would it be? What would you tell these ladies? Like, if you do this, it might be scary, it might be uncomfortable, but it will help you grow your business or you as a person. What would that be? Do you have anything like that, like an advice like that for the girls?
I would honestly say you have to get out of your normal path. Go do something that you normally would not do. Get off base. I know everybody has kids, and a lot of us are stay-at-home moms, whether we're single or not. But, go do something that you normally wouldn't do. Go talk to somebody you normally wouldn't talk to. Make a friend, ask somebody some questions, make a conversation, join a group, go do an activity once a week or once a month that you don't normally do, so that you can connect with new people, so that you're not in your same bubble. I have to force myself at times to get out of the house, because I'm home with the baby, and I can get caught up with online, or I can get caught up with whatever's going on in my bubble. But, we go to the children's museum. I get out of the house, and just going to a different post office to drop off packages, or going to a different grocery store. So I see different people out of my normal path, and actually, go talk to somebody you wouldn't. I know it's hard to talk to strangers, but I am a social person. But you'd be surprised, sometimes just doing a kind act to somebody goes so much farther than you would even think. And it doesn't even have to be a LuLaRoe act. It could be just something kind to someone. You know what? I saw that, you seem like you needed a hug today, or you seem like, you wanted somebody to sit and talk with. Go and do that. I mean, sometimes you never know. You could be somebody's saving grace for the day. You could do something that kept them from doing harm to themselves. And I think that just coming out of your own box, coming out of your own skin sometimes, and things that Leslie did, having a social anxiety, do what you wouldn't normally do. And it does get you places. It does take you further. Give unselfishly. And being a single mom and me watching every penny, I was like, she wanted me to go out there and give out leggings? Like, girl, that's $10. You know how much I can make dinner with $10? And I was like, I am not giving somebody a pair of leggings. And she gave a shirt. She gave an Amelia. Like, that's $30. You'd be surprised. It was so hard for me to give stuff away. I am so sorry to call me Scrooge McDuck, but I'll be that person. It was hard for me. But even cleaning out an area in my house, or giving away something and going, oh my God, I could totally make money off that. But just giving it away, I made new friends. And then they're like, well, to me, what do you do? Oh, I do LuLaRoe. What's that? And then you get conversations going, and people want to support you in what you're doing because you gave effortlessly.
Awesome. Thank you, mon ami. What about you, Leslie? What's your final bit? What's your challenge?
I would say two things. One, the number one most underutilized source of sales in direct sales in business in general is fundraisers.
Mhm.
GoFundMe.com. There are 800 million people on there who need to raise money.
Wow, yes.
You can't message 10 people a day on GoFundMe.com and say, hey, I'm a business owner here on JBLM, and I would love to talk to you about how I can help you raise some money for your daughter's soccer team. If you can't do 10 of those a day, you're not running a business. And for the second one, how I increased my inventory was I signed my first person 3 weeks in. I wanted that 175. Mm-hmm. So I found a way to do it. I have only not ordered 175 1 month since I started. And that was a month that I was out of town 3 weeks out of the month, my first convention. So I circled on my calendar every 7 days. I ordered every 7 days. And then the next month, I ordered every 6 days, and then every 5 days, and then every 4 days. And if you do that, your business will grow to keep up with your inventory, not the other way around. Your business will not grow if you don't grow your inventory. Grow your inventory, your business will grow.
That's awesome. Thank you. And thank you about the GoFundMe. That's brilliant. I could never, I'm going to do it. That you're right. There's like thousands of people asking for help with money, and that is perfect. And they don't even have to do the work. They just have to give you friends. That's awesome. We should all be jumping on that bandwagon. Thank you. I'm going to try that. Okay, guys. So it's been an hour. I wanted to open up the floor for questions. You can click on your chat box and type your question if you're like on a computer, if you want to do it like that, or you can unmute yourself and ask your question. If you're on the phone, all I see is a phone number. So if you have a question, just say your name and I'll try to, we'll kind of go with it. So there's a wealth of information here. So if you have any questions, by all means, I'm opening up the floor to that. Anyone? Anything? I know you're shy, but come on. This is for you. This is for you guys to help you grow. So is there anybody that has any questions specific to booking or online or, just kind of getting out of your own way? Anyone?
Everyone's quiet. So I'm going to give Elle permission to share my phone number with any of you. So if you ever just want to chat it out, brainstorm, text me questions, you're welcome to get a hold of me. I'm super shy and I had a really hard time booking parties in the beginning. So I'd be happy to help any of you. You guys can call me.
Let's see if this
You call me too or message me.
Okay, I have a question from Donna. Donna is one of my ladies in the queue. She lives right outside of St. Louis in Florissant, Missouri. So Donna says, I just want to say Monami and Leslie have provided amazing information, especially since I'm in the queue and learning. Oh, okay, well, thank you, Donna. We appreciate it. Okay, well, if I don't have any more questions, and Leslie has a wonderful pink black dress behind her.
I know, huh? I just bought that from someone else.
Oh, okay.
In blue shades.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You'd be surprised if you do like live sales or like live anything, and it's not necessarily a sale. Like in your group, if you do something like that, they'll want it. They'll want to buy it. So that's like another little tip that you could do. But okay, so I'm gonna let you guys go. For most of you that are not here, or even for those of us that are here, it's time to cook dinner. The men are getting ready to come home or whatever. The kids are hungry. So I'll let you go. This recording will be available. I actually called customer support and asked them how to do it. So they told me that I have to upload the video file to YouTube or my Dropbox. So bear with me. I will upload the file and I will share it with the group, the YouTube link. I think I'll do it like that. So thank you guys for taking the time to be here. I love you. Thank you so much, Leslie and Monami, for taking the time to share your knowledge with me and my growing team. I love you guys. So with that, I will go ahead and close out the meeting, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay?
Thanks, ladies.
Okay,
we want to see what's in the box, Elle.
Yeah. Oh, you want me to open?
Yeah. Hello.
I don't even know what that is. I think so I just added the classics to my thing, and I've been ordering them like crazy. I think this is just some classics that I ordered.
That's why I just opened the box.
see. Oh no, wait. Let's see. I have some Cassie's, and I have. Oh wow, that's cute. Oh, Randy's. That's cute. Look at that.
Wait, what size is that?
Yeah, what size? Wait, I saw double digits. I saw 2 letters.
Look at
Is that
this. Oh my god, it's like watercolor.
What size?
What size?
This is a small.
Damn, Gina.
I could wear it small.
There's Randy's in here. What else is in here?
See, if that don't make you want to place an order right now.
This is kind of a fun Cassie. This one's cute. Like it's blue and kind of like blue, like.
Ooh, like shadowed polka dots.
You know what's funny? I order so much, right, that I forget. I wasn't even tracking this was coming today. Oh, cassette tape, Cassie.
See, guys, the key is also ordering. Oh, what size is that?
What?
This one's a 3XL.
Damn it all to hell.
I could make 3 of them.
I really have contemplated seeking somebody out who could cut a 3X down because 3X gets all the cool prints.
Oh, this is an Asher. I love Asher skirts. Actually, and I sell a lot of them. It makes me sad that people don't like them, like the consultants don't like them because I sell so many of them. Look at this. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that is pretty.
Anyway, okay, look. I know. I'm going over. So I seriously, like, every time I do anything, like I order, right? I just order. I didn't know that I had this coming. I vaguely remember ordering that. And so it's kind of fun, you know. So just order, just like have faith and like renew your inventory. There's a lot of, it looks like this is Azures, Randy's, and Cassie's. But I know I have classics coming. So this is kind of cool. Look at me sharing my, so this is another Asher, but it's like green and then it's got these rose buds.
Oh, I have that in classic. I have that in classic tees.
Anyway, so I don't want to keep you guys. I love you. And I'm going to close out this meeting and we will talk again very soon. Thank you guys for being here, okay?
Thanks for sharing your box. Thanks everybody.
Okay, ciao.
Bye.